Okay, now for a somewhat biased view of my new couch and the rest of the guff that I've been working on lately. So I've got the cushions off the seats down that normally go down the back on this couch. Backrest, probably not such a good idea. I mean, yeah, it works, but you don't really need it. It sits a bit higher, so it's sort of more comfortable to put your feet up here. It's a bit small. It'd be better if that lip was bigger, but it's not really meant for you to put your feet on, but it does work. So yeah, I reckon you probably sit 3 across the front of here, 4 at a squeeze without much trouble. The other couch, I've got the cushions off the old couch on it, so it's got 3 of those cushions with a bit of an overhang there. So I might need to cut the cushions and do something with them to make them more comfortable. Well, look better. I mean, they're comfortable, there's no doubt about that. I might think about trimming this, because like this seat's pretty comfortable because your back of your head goes up against the window. Probably trim this a bit, maybe, because the wall on the side of the boat leans in at quite an angle, and I'm sure when you're on a port hand tack, I think, starboard tack, the boat will be leaning over, and this would be a good spot to sit. But on the other tack, when the boat's leaning that way, you'd be bracing yourself against this, or putting your feet up against here, that sort of thing. But the main reason I've gone to this much trouble is the old couch was disintegrating. It was chipboard. It was only ever a temporary thing, and these ones are CD ply with like a 19 by 41, I think, pine frame. So they're built very, very light. So they're not going to be very ballistically tolerant. If anyone over about 35 kilos starts running around on top of them and jumping off them and stuff, they'll probably break. But fingers crossed, we don't have any of that sort of crap. Anyway, I'll convert them to beds and see how they look. Rightio. So yeah, we've got ourselves a couple of lumpy beds. Like, I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with this cushion situation down here. Like, if I go cutting cushions, you could muck it up a fair bit. So I've just got to sort of just trial and error, I guess. I'm pretty happy with how that's going to work as it is, because now you've got all sorts of room for stretching out. Oh, I reckon you can head to toe 2 people on each of these beds, no worries at all. And as long as you're chummy, you could probably sleep side by side, no worries. They're a bit lumpy because of the way couch cushions are, but I'm pretty happy with the way it's turned out. The next bit I'll show you how the storage works underneath them. Yeah. Okay, I think yeah, I've got it in another ridiculous bracket, but we'll get a bit of an idea of how these things are put together and how they're set up and put away. Fairly sturdy, but I wouldn't be jumping up and down on it. You'd probably go through it. It'd be alright for like a toddler, someone Carmen's size, but so lift it up, you can see that we've got enough room to store like a naughty kid. If someone doesn't do what they're told, we can padlock them in here, and they shouldn't be able to hurt anyone, or we don't really care if they hurt themselves. Over behind here, I'll put stuff that I'm not going to use too often. Probably snorkeling gear, stuff like that. When it's dry, the bathroom's a wet room. For all the wet stuff. But yeah, as you can see, it's 3/8 ply, 17mm, not super strong. Once that's doubled up, it should be sturdy enough. Rightio, we'll see if my tablet doesn't fall off the ridiculous bracket that I've put in the corner of the room. Now that the couches are pretty much done, I'm going to pump all the water out of the main fuel tank that got in there during the sinking and put some diesel in there. I've already put a little bit of diesel in there. The diesel will float on the water. Hopefully that'll be enough to line the side of the fuel tank as the water level decreases. So get the fuel out. I've got a strainer water trap, if you like. It's chockers with water. There's a bit of crap in there, but I'm not stirring things up at the moment. I think there's a fair bit of stuff on the bottom of this fuel tank, like whether it be algae or rust or debris, or it doesn't matter. For pumps, I'm using these solenoid pumps, so we'll just spark him up because she's going to be going for a while, and we'll watch him flow. So it looks like pretty clean water. Hopefully it's not too salty. I'm not going to check it to taste. Probably make me very, very sick. You can see that there's a little monster swimming around in there. There's a little bit of diesel in the bilge, and it's reacted with the water, and there's like a slime that's grown at the boundary. And because of that current flow from this pumping, it's balled it up into a ball. So I'm not sure if I'll reach in there and attempt to remove it, or just leave it, because I'm really curious about what this diesel bug does when left to its own devices. This is an area that I can clean easily and inspect easily, and I'll just make sure that it doesn't clog up my bilge pump.